Begin the day's other headlines in Brazil, where the country's Supreme Court has ordered former President Jair Bolsonaro to wear an electronic ankle monitor. In the capital, Brasilia, today, federal police searched his home and his party's headquarters. Bolsonaro is on trial for allegedly attempting a coup to overturn his 2022 election loss. The court also barred the 70-year-old from leaving his house at night and from communicating with key allies. That includes his son, Eduardo, who has been in the United States lobbying the Trump administration on his father's behalf. Today, Bolsonaro called the measures a supreme humiliation.
There's nothing concrete there. There's no proof of anything. Besides, I've never thought of leaving Brazil. I've never thought about going to the embassy, but the precautionary measures were imposed because of that.
Bolsonaro also told the Reuters news agency that he thinks the court orders are in response to President Trump's criticism of his trial. Both men have called it a witch hunt, and last week, Mr. Trump said he would impose a 50% tariff on Brazilian goods, tying them directly to Bolsonaro's legal problems. At the White House today, President Trump signed into law the first major legislation aimed at regulating cryptocurrencies. During an event in the East Room, Mr. Trump signed the Genius Act, which sets initial guardrails and consumer protections for stable coins. These are a type of cryptocurrency that are tied to assets like the U.S. dollar. As such, they're meant to be less volatile than other forms of crypto. Its passage by Congress this week was seen as a major step forward for the industry's efforts toward mainstream usage and acceptance. Venezuela released a group of jailed Americans today in a three-nation deal that also included El Salvador. Under the agreement, 10 Americans who had been seized by Venezuelan authorities will be freed. In exchange, El Salvador will send back some 300 migrants to Venezuela who had been deported from the United States and were being housed in a notorious Salvadoran prison. The Trump administration had paid El Salvador $6 million in March to take those Venezuelans, accusing them, without evidence, of belonging to the Tren de Aragua gang. In Syria, violence between Druze militias and Bedouin clans has returned to the southern Suwaida province. Clashes erupted overnight after a brief period of relative calm following a ceasefire agreement. Today, smoke rose over buildings and Syrian government forces rolled back in and tried to restore stability. The conflict between the Druze and the Bedouin tribes broke out Sunday. Fighting has already killed hundreds of people and displaced nearly 80,000 others. Government-linked forces are accused of siding with the Bedouins, executing Druze civilians and burning their homes. Health officials in the Gaza Strip say overnight Israeli airstrikes killed at least 18 people, including children. Morgue records show that one strike in the southern city of Khan Yunis killed 4 members of the same family. People there dug through the rubble looking for the remains of their relatives.
They are still under the rubble. We haven't been able to get them out yet, even in small pieces. The largest piece is the size of the palm of your hand. The rest of the pieces are not there.
Also today, Christian leaders from Jerusalem visited Gaza's only Catholic church a day after Israeli shelling struck its grounds. The attack killed 3 people and wounded 10, including the parish priest. Both Pope Leo and President Trump condemned the attack, and Israel issued a rare apology, saying it was an accident. In Pakistan, authorities say intense floods have killed at least 57 people over a period of 48 hours. Relentless monsoon rains swept through Punjab this week, leaving a trail of destruction in the nation's most populous province. Officials say falling buildings caused most of the deaths. Among them were 24 children. This week's surge brings the death toll to at least 180 people killed since Pakistan's monsoon season began in late June. On Wall Street today, stocks ended an otherwise strong week on a quiet note. The Dow Jones Industrial Average slipped about 140 points on the day. The Nasdaq managed a slight gain of just 10 points, and the S&P 500 ended virtually flat. Felix Baumgartner, the first skydiver to break the sound barrier, has died. Baumgartner made headlines in 2012 when he jumped from a capsule 24 miles above Earth, reaching a speed of over 800 miles an hour. That's well above the speed of sound. Known as Fearless Felix, Baumgartner started skydiving when he was just 16. He grabbed worldwide attention in 1999 by jumping off Brazil's famous Christ the Redeemer statue and later crossed the English Channel using a specially designed carbon fiber wing. Speaking shortly after his space jump in 2012, Baumgartner reflected on what it means to be in the air.
It doesn't matter if it's paragliding or skydiving or flying with my wingsuit or the wing, which I was using when I crossed the English Channel, or flying helicopters. Most of the pilots, when they land, it's like they feel at home. For me, it's the other way around. I'm at home in the sky.
Officials in Italy say Baumgartner died yesterday in a paraglider crash. The cause of the incident is still being determined. Felix Baumgartner was 56 years old. And Oscar-winning lyricist Alan Bergman has died. In 1974, Bergman and his wife Marilyn won an Oscar for The Way We Were.
The way we were.
That fan favorite was featured in the Barbra Streisand film of the same name. As a writing team, they collaborated on hundreds of songs for movies and television, winning a total of 3 Oscars, 2 Grammys, and 4 Emmys. They were married for more than 60 years until her death in 2022. Alan Bergman's family say he had suffered from respiratory issues in recent months, but had continued to write songs till the very end. Alan Bergman was 99 years old. Still to come on the NewsHour, David Brooks and Jonathan Capehart weigh in on the week's political headlines. CBS cancels The Late Show with Stephen Colbert, citing financial considerations.
This is the PBS NewsHour from the David M. Rubenstein Studio at WETA in Washington, and in the West from the Walter Cronkite School of Journalism at Arizona State University.